everyone. Welcome back to Sit Fearlessly. Woo woo! I'm so excited to be here, guys. As always, we have an amazing guest with us, and we cannot wait to dive in and have this conversation. It's a long time coming. Happy New Year, everybody. I think this is the first show I'm doing at the top of the year. So welcome. Thank you for having it with me. Yes.
Hi.
Yeah, so happy New Year, guys. I hope everyone has been well. It has been a brutal winter so far. We were just talking about it. The snow, the cold is like, please be careful. I know you guys saw that the mayor announced that there were a few people that have died because of the cold. You know, I'm assuming is, homeless folks that don't have warm shelter to go to. So please be careful. Hypothermia is real. So bundle up, put your gloves on, your hats on, all that good stuff. If you don't need to go outside every day, don't go outside every day, and just stay on top of the weather. And it was supposed to snow this weekend, but it's not now. So, just stay on top of the weather. Make sure you guys are good. And if you know someone that needs food, shelter, anything, there's so much information out there. Make sure you share it with them. It is brutal. It is cold, but we're going to get through it because we're New Yorkers, right? I was seeing all the memes the day of the snow, and it was making me crack up, and it was just putting a smile on my face because even though it is tough having all this snow in a small city like ours, it's still so much fun to see all the kids playing in the snow and sledding. There were some people skiing. I was like, there was this top ski guy. I don't even remember his name, but he was like skiing, and everyone's taking videos, and I'm just like, this is so great. Everyone was in Central Park, so it was nice to see that and see everybody coming together and, seeing the snowfall. But now we're dealing with the aftermath. So good luck to us.
Avoid the brown snow.
Yes. Oh, man. So, we just have a lot of amazing things coming up this year. I want to definitely continue on our mission to highlight incredible women. We also have men on our show, and they're incredible as well. But, my mission is to help women business owners find their voice, share their platform, support them as much as I can, and, utilize this platform to share their message, share their business, share their products, share their services. I think that it is important for us to do that and network with each other and support each other, so that's why we're here. So without further ado, I have Natalia Acevedo here. Woo!
Hi, guys.
So excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, you are the founder of NP Photography?
And photography.
And photography. Okay, yes. So, oh my God, talk to me a little bit about that journey and how you even got into the photography business, what made you become passionate about it, et cetera. And then we'll take it from there.
It all started with my Nate, my son. So he's 16 years old now. But when I first became a parent, like any new parent, you want to do everything first and everything's so new. But what I really quickly realized was that all the firsts were going really fast. And then you can't relive them and they start to fade. So I started obsessing with taking the photos or clipping little moments. And at the time, the phones weren't what they are now. These iPhones are better than one of my cameras. But at the time, I had to be intentional. So my husband kind of saw the mission and was super supportive and got me my first camera. And he was like, this should be more than a hobby for you, because he just felt like I wasn't just grasping a photo. I was grasping a moment. So that's how everything started. It just rooted from there. And then it just became a mission to kind of create the awareness that we have this treasure that we're not really utilizing, and we're taking it for granted. And then with time, it became a healing tool. So it was almost like therapy through photos. And then I'm raising my son and I'm capturing all of his moments, and that's beautiful to go back to. But then it started putting on radar just how important capturing all the moments are. And it doesn't matter just, it's really the simple moments. It's not just an event. It's not the big things. It's the little things, the mundane, the everyday, So that's how it started. And then it just blossomed into what it is now. Now I'm obsessed with time travel. I feel like every photo captures that moment for real, and then you're able to revisit it. And we go into a whole bunch of things, and that's how it became.
I love that because I'm a mom as well, and time has sped by so fast. I have young adults now, and thank God that I have photos of them and I'm able to look back on it and smile and, feel fuzzy inside and remember those memories. It's so important to capture those memories because, you talk about time travel, but like time sometimes does not really belong to us. It's every day we're getting up on the grind, we're hustling, we're moving, we're this, we're that. And it's like, it's so important to do what you're doing and stop and just capture the moment in time. Like you said, it doesn't have to be a major event. It doesn't have to be nothing like that. Just like this moment is special, let's capture it, So I love that. That's beautiful.
I also like creating the awareness that it's a tool for healing.
Yeah.
So I remember being a kid and, nobody's child is perfect, but I remember quieting the noise by looking at frames and different moments in my family's life and wondering what it was like to be there, and then taking that picture, having the conversation, and then traveling with them and seeing their face light up at such a beautiful moment. And again, it's just a regular moment. Everybody was just dressed nice one day. They were just together and they took that picture. So I was privileged to be around people who valued photos.
Yeah.
So the conversation started. I started realizing that people just didn't really have that, and for me it was so normal, and for others it was so foreign. Right. So I saw that disconnect. So that's why I am making it my mission to talk about it, to make sure that people know that photos are important, and we need to really invest our time and our resources into it. It doesn't have to be a whole production.
Yeah.
You could just have whatever photos. Just take it with your phone. And now with the phone, there's so many things. I pay for an app that allows me to make cards with photos, and it mails it for me.
Oh,
so
nice.
Now you could even be lazy about it.
Yes.
There's no big process to it. It's such a great thing, and it's at your fingertips.
Yeah. I love when you said you grab a photo, like let's say from our parents, and we sit down with them and we talk to them about that. It's like storytelling.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So time travel, storytelling. Like, do you think most people are walking around without realizing they're letting their history disappear by not capturing these moments?
For sure. It's dismantling legacy because you're just not preserving it. Before, people were way more intentional because it was way more odd to do it. It was something special, very expensive too. So when you actually had to do a photo, it was like a whole production. So they were actually really intentional. Now it's so easy, we take it for granted. So that's the niche that we need to really kind of get over. You're never prepared enough for a photo. You never be skinny enough. You never be pretty enough. You never be nothing enough. Just take the photo, because what's going to piss you off is in 10 years, you look back at that photo, you're going to remember that you didn't get in it.
Yeah.
And you're going to be pissed at yourself, and you're not going to care about the things that you cared about in that moment. What you're going to care is that you're not in it.
Exactly. The emotion. Yeah. The emotional part of it, right? And I think that with a lot of things moving forward, because like you said, back then they were intentional. Now it's like we have so much access to it. So it's like we're taking it for granted. But not only that, we're also putting too much emphasis on having to look perfect and things like that. And it's like, no, you are going to be so upset that you missed this moment. It's the emotional attachment to it. So we're talking about images as emotional receivers. Do you think society undervalues memory because we're taught to move on instead of looking back?
That's a good one. Absolutely. Because you are taught to move on, but we're not looking at it as something negative either. Like, this is preservance. We're preserving something. We're creating a story so that our generation can kind of go to it as a resource, how did my grandmother look? Do I have her eyes? What did my dad do for fun? So one of the biggest examples for me is when my grandmother passed. It was a few years ago now, and I absolutely loved running into these albums, and I see my dad with these little suspenders. They put him in these amazing, gorgeous cars. Well, we would say Power Wheels. To them, it was like an actual car, just miniature. It was gorgeous, and it looked so luxurious, and I would have paid to be a fly on the wall to know what that was about and to have been there. You could see that they were in Dominican Republic. So many little details, and I sat with them, and I was like, what is this? And that journey to their story is something that you can't put a price on. That's what life is about. We're missing that intimacy. We're in a time that, you don't look back. to relive negative things.
Right.
But we're talking about something positive and loving and a remembrance. Like
Yes.
it's not anything bad. And it actually gets
Yes.
you out of the bad moments. Maybe we were in the middle of grieving my grandmother's life, but we're celebrating her through the photos.
Yeah.
So it's a tool.
You need to write a book.
That's part of the plan.
Time capsule.
Yes.
You need to write a book.
That's part of the plan.
This is incredible. Like, I don't think I've had, probably any of us have had this perspective before about the importance of images. You need to do that.
I hope so.
Yes. So my background is in finance, right? So I talk everything about financial literacy, building wealth, leaving a legacy connected to wealth.
Yeah.
But is the legacy really about wealth? Or is it about proof that we were here and we loved hard?
I believe the legacy is about choices, is having the choices. And if you have the wealth, you have the means to do so many of those things. But these are the photography part is something that doesn't have, it has its own currency.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's its own entity within the emotional value of life, the emotional legacy of life, and that bridge. I know so many people who, for example, the thing with the genetics, ancestry, where did that come from? It came from
Right.
curiosity of knowing where you came from. So that's the concept. So it is
Yeah.
a wealth. It's just not the currency that all of us are thinking. We're thinking currency may be money, but it's a part of wealth.
Right.
And this fortune that we have in our hands,
Yes.
we're just not making the best of it. We're not making it grow. We're not investing into it. We're not creating choices out of it. My kids have choices. They have albums of their childhood as they're growing.
Right.
They have photos of their parents as much as our parents invested. And then it just keeps, it's compound interest almost.
Yeah.
And it's like, once you get that awareness and that mindset to invest into it, it's a whole different life because it just brings so much joy because
Yeah.
that curiosity will forever birth itself in every generation. You're still going to want to know what happened.
It's so true. And it's like abundance. It's like thinking
Yes.
gratitude and abundance, right?
Absolutely.
So there's not one or the other. It's not like just wealth, just, capturing moments, just love. It's like live in the moment and enjoy the abundance you have in the moment. I love that. I love that. So your husband saw your gift before you fully named it, right? You
Yep.
mentioned that, which I love, by the way.
Yes.
Like, shout out to all of the supportive partners, all of the supportive partnerships. Like, I love to see that, in this climate of time, sometimes a lot of people talk about failing relationships and just, lack of connection, lack of depth, So I love to see when partnerships support each other. So shout out to hubby.
I'm a lucky girl.
Yes. So he saw your gift before you fully named it. How powerful is it to be loved by someone who recognizes your purpose and believes in it early on?
It's very powerful. It's a limb because it's not just support. It's the actual limb that you
Yeah.
stand on. Because without their support, you can't be with someone who doesn't see your vision because it's gonna clash at some point. And as much as someone wants to, they just can't. It's either you do or you don't.
Yeah.
And I got really fortunate that my husband and I are very like-minded, especially in art. And his first gift to me, actually, he was my prom date, so that's another story for another time. And
High school sweethearts, I love it.
he went to graphic arts high school,
Okay.
and he had a photography class.
I went to that high school too.
Did
What
you?
a coincidence.
Oh my
Yes.
God. So he took the photography class, which
Yeah.
you probably know about, and he literally took the photos that he took at my prom. There was this one photo that we did a selfie on a disposable. He took the negative and developed it, and that was his first gift to me, that he hand-developed a photo. And this was way before we had children and, actually dated. We had just gotten to know each other. And it impacted me then, and I didn't know how it impacted me later. And like you said, he was the first one to name it. So
Right.
he brought me a photo as a gift, as two children, really. And then later on, he saw my gift blossom.
Right.
And then he called it, And then here we are now, and he's still my number one fan. Like, we've done weddings
love
together,
that.
and he's like my biggest cheerleader. Like, it's hilarious because he has the energy of the Energizer Bunny.
Right.
So it's great because it's helpful. And then it's just, whenever I throw any projects at him, he's just like, all right, so what do you need? I had a studio.
Right.
He was in there painting whatever I needed. Then, whatever. Like, he's just, okay, everything's okay.
I love that. Like, we talk about tribe, right? Finding your tribe, right? Whether that is the person you're emotionally dating, whether that is a family member, whether that is a childhood friend, whether that is a friend you meet later on in life, right? But it's super important to have those people like that in your corner that are cheering for you. Like, explain to me what happens to creativity when you have like someone there that finally says, I see you and I know this matters.
I wouldn't say validate because that's not enough. It's more like it gives you the juices, like that inspiration. Like if you had like a gas tank and you're midway, it would bring the needle all the way up. It's like a good like push that you kind of needed. The artist is its biggest critic. I'm in a group chat with a few photographers that we were just, chatting. And one of the girls was like, oh, I feel so honored to have shared my link with you guys. I finally feel like I'm part of the big leagues. I'm like, girl, you're part of the big leagues just being here. The vision is the big league. Like, you don't need none of that. You just take the picture, shoot, and go. The eye is the one thing that you need. The camera is secondary.
Yeah.
The setting is secondary. The moment that you're looking at, that's the big league. That's having that talent. So you have to always push each other. Once you're in that kind of community, you have to anchor each other because artists are really hard on themselves.
Yes.
Really, really hard on themselves. So having someone, it doesn't even matter if you know them. It's just inspiration, constant, support and enrichment into their God-given talent. Photography is a talent. It's not just a skill.
Right.
It's a purpose. It's a mission, which is why I'm here today. Like I feel like I have this new direction to talk about it, not just take pictures. I want the whole world to know the kind of thing that we're taking for granted.
That's
I
period.
have to. It's like I'm suffocating.
Yes. Oh my God. I love that. I love that. I feel like I'm suffocating right now too, though. Maybe I'm having a moment. Maybe I'm like, let me just put everything out. Like, stop holding things in. Stop waiting for the moment. Like, let me just put everything out. I love that because, we as humans, right, always pour into our loved ones, always pour into others. So to find people that pour into you, that are selfless in that way, that are like, oh no, you got something, do this, however I can support you, go out there, put yourself out there. Like, we need more of that, especially during this time right now. That's very difficult in this country, in this city. Like, that's so important. So I want to go a little deep.
Let's do it.
So you said photography you have mentioned it can scar wounds and it can heal them.
Yeah.
Can art hurt us before it heals us?
A little bit of both. A lot of art is born through pain. So that's like, I was actually talking about this with my niece, who also loves photography, and I'm mentoring her. And I was like, sometimes, because she was saying she was like at a plateau.
Yeah.
And I was like, sometimes art needs pain in order to be art. But then it's like a crutch. So then you think that you could only do art through the pain, but then you realize that you don't need the pain for the art. But until you find your footing, you don't know what's really inspiring you. It's just whatever is really impacting. So art can be painful, but it's because that art, it comes from pain.
Right.
Like it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And then it scars you in the sense that whatever moment caused this, now it imprinted in your timeline. So you have the scar, and then the art will heal it. It'll help you stitch it. It'll help you get through it. But because it was born the way that it was, whatever that pain happened and how that manifested into the art, that's why it's painful. You won't forget the pain.
Yeah.
But you'll just learn how to live with it, and you heal through it because it's a healthy outlet. It's not like something that you're sabotaging yourself. You're not being destructive.
Right.
You're actually finding a way to get through it. And that's something that our generation is inspiring. I feel like we went through the sabotage or the last of it because that's what we mirrored. we're breaking that cycle and we're
Yes.
learning how to get through it because we're doing the work. So a
Right.
conversation with my niece or someone younger than us, it's helpful because
Yeah.
we know both and we're able
Yeah.
to guide them through that. So yeah, art is painful,
Yeah.
but it's also born from pain.
And, looking back at the images, the photos from, it may be people we have lost along the way, and not necessarily because they lost their life, they're just not in our lives anymore,
Right.
So these images can really trigger old emotions, feelings. So that, I can see the connection there where it can hurt us because you're remembering that time of pain or you missed a person, but then it can heal us because you're also remembering the good that came out of it, and now
Exactly.
you're in a better place and you hope that person is as well, so it is. Yeah.
When I started this, kind of talking about it, I
Yeah.
try to not lead with the grief part because that's where it ends, right? So that's how everything started for me, where I started realizing that when we lose our loved ones, all we have left are the photos, right? So then you get frustrated, and that's when everything kind of dug up for me. I was like, why do we let ourselves get to this moment knowing better? Like, we should be taking more things into our control that we can control.
Yeah.
But then it even gets deeper, like you were saying, but then you also see yourself in these photos, different versions of yourself.
Yeah.
So you start mourning yourself already. So now we're grieving a whole different thing, and all these emotions are just a big pool.
Right.
That's why it's a therapy.
Yes.
Because you're facing certain things that maybe you overlooked at the time, and that photo just reminded you that you overlooked it, which is why it's still painful.
Yeah.
So we really could get deep, and I really want to
Yes.
get into a more of a psychological impact. I want to educate myself on that because when I continue to talk about this, I want it to evolve.
Yeah.
I want it to blossom into something that it's a process for someone. That if,
Yeah.
let's say, conventional therapy doesn't work and they're trying to find something new, this could help. And I saw it come to fruition in the pandemic. I
Yeah.
became a teacher of
Yeah.
kids for some reason, virtually, and the class became a therapy on how these kids were dealing with the pandemic changes. And it was, these kids were crying. Like, they were explaining how everything changed so rapidly. And then the way that I was making them take photos of the changes, it helped them name it. It helped them identify. It helped them feel safe because they were in control.
Wow.
So we went over all these changes and take pictures, and now they created
Yeah.
albums of what this time looked like for them. And after that was when I was more of a ding ding ding,
Yeah.
this is a thing, this is a movement that I want to create, or somebody else may have a different version, but my version is just getting through the hard moments with the
Yeah.
photography being a tool.
Oh my God, so powerful. There's so many things running through my head. I'm a thinker.
It's
so
a lot.
I'm therapy through photography,
Yeah.
therapy through images. If you guys have a therapist right now that you're seeing, bring your photos, bring old
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah.
Dive deep. There's so many things. Have you worked with women have been through trauma, like domestic violence, things like that?
People don't really share that as much when with talking to a photographer. But I will say, with family, and we know our own journey and
Yeah.
together, right? We sit down and share photos all the time. And for example, my uncle passed. My son is 4. 12 years ago, and it was traumatic for the family because it was a death that he just had meningitis and collapsed one day. We
Okay.
didn't have a chance to actually understand what's happening. And then he lasted in this state for a very long time. So that experience had us kind of unite and understand the value of photos together.
Yeah.
And, it was such an honor for me that everyone came to me to look for a photo of Theo.
Wow.
And I was able to provide. And I had just started the obsession at that time. My son was only 4, so, things were really new. And that's how you share pain, and that's how you share your traumas and get through it together.
Yeah.
And any other person's story of trauma with photos, I've gone down albums with people where they want to see their life before. They want to remember what their life was before this happened.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to kind of jump back there
Yes.
because you realize that before you met that person, before you experienced that thing, you were someone else. That version
Yes.
of you still exists. You just have to rescue,
Yeah.
bring her
It's
or
a way to
him.
bring your strength back.
Right.
It's a way to regain control over your life. It's, oh my God. Girl, we have
Yeah.
lots to talk about.
Right? Like who would have thought?
Lots
Like
to talk about.
how do you create a photo?
Yeah.
Like in my own traumas from my own life, photography got me through all of it. And I
Yeah.
just didn't know. It's like putting the name on it. Like I made the kids do it.
Yeah.
I started realizing, what am I doing? Like I have to do that for myself too.
Yeah.
Like where am I taking these kids into? And it really just
Yeah.
it was crazy. I didn't even want the job. I
Oh.
was like stalked by my neighbor. She was like, "Come on, you're a photographer. These kids are bored. Like, let's do it."
Yeah.
I got all these cameras donated, and I was like, "Okay." And then it was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life.
I love that. So before we run out of time, I do want to ask you two important questions.
Do it.
So first, what's one memory you believe every human deserves to preserve, no matter who they are?
I don't want to say the generic parenting when your kids come into the world, because not everyone's a parent.
Right.
What memory? Doesn't matter who you are. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Can I skip it so I can think about
You
it?
can, yes.
But I just feel like I
Yes.
went so automatic to parenthood, and I don't want to leave
Yeah.
my people who are not parents. What memory?
I would say like maybe that moment when you feel like you're becoming.
Yeah, but then you have to be like
Yeah.
a person that takes selfies all the time. And not everybody does that. I'm that girl. I totally took selfies
Right.
today. This is my first time on like a little talk show, so I was like, I'm taking all the selfies.
I love it. So then let me ask you this. If you could tell people one thing before they scroll past another moment of their life, what would you say to them to make them stop and capture it?
You got good questions. I would make them stop. There's just no good reason. It's always a reason.
Yeah.
Just stop and take the photo. Like,
Yeah.
I like to encourage a lot of sunsets. I feel like you don't know how you're taking that for granted. There's parts in the world that don't see the sun all year.
Yeah.
Um,
You know what I like to do? So I like to take photos also. Like, love to take photos because of those reasons too. Just to capture the moment, to capture my feeling, my energy, bring out my badassness, my fearlessness. But you know what I love also? Capturing my friends.
oh yeah.
Not on purpose. Not like, girl, we're gonna
Candid.
go. We'll do a photo shoot. No, like I see them. They're sitting somewhere. They look bomb, and I'm like, stay right there.
Oh yeah.
Let me
Yep.
capture that. And I think we should start doing more of that for each other.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
do that all the time, and I
Yeah.
get cursed out about it all the time too. Like, oh, here you go with the photos. My people are starting to acclimate, but it took a long time.
Yeah.
But to get back to your question about what would make them stop, it has to be like you have to be self-aware. So it's almost like an anxiety exercise, like your
Yeah.
senses. Like, where are you? Like, I have questions for that question.
Okay.
Like, where are you? Are you just in your house? Are you out and about and you're bored?
Listen, I'm gonna stop you for a second
Yes.
because I don't want you to run. I don't want you to the time to run out from that thought.
Yes.
But I want to have another session with you.
Okay.
Yes, because I
Yes.
have so many ideas. This is very helpful for
Yay.
especially for women. So let everyone know where they can follow you, anything you have going on, your social media pages, all of that.
Okay, so I am N Photography. You can find me on Instagram at N Photography, one word, simple. I'm also on TikTok. I'm sorry about my TikTok page. I'm not really active, but maybe I should be a little better, right? And new intentions, new year.
Yes.
That's N Photography Studio. And then I am all over the place. I live in New Jersey, but I'm New Yorker, so I'm not too far. I travel to you wherever you're at. Always capture those moments. Like, that's my mission. I'm here not just for the big moments. I'm here for like the little moments that you might not even think is important.
Yes.
If you have those moments like that you just want to just chill and just take pictures and be in your PJs, like whatever. Like, just don't think about it too much. Take the photos and just be yourself.
I
That's
love
my
it.
mission.
I love it so much. This is another episode of Sit Fearlessly, guys. Make sure you guys check out Natalia. Thank you for watching. Yay!
Thank you for having me.